My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to the Bazaar. 2 hours after this video goes live, the game is going to be patched, so there's going to be an entirely new meta. So, for every fixer-upper we run into, we're going to be able to look at them and go, ah, yes, but try trying that next patch. After they change Deed, I don't know, probably Deed. Hey Vanessa, you got weapons. You can help us cut through some fixers-uppers. Can you not? Gimme double barrel. No double barrel, but bolus. Every 4 seconds deals 60 damage, slow an item 3 seconds. There's also grappling hook, slow an item 3 seconds at 6-second cooldown. Weapon and a tool. Honing steel. The weapon to the right of this gains plus 12 damage to the fight or beach ball. Haste to aquatic items or toys for 2 seconds. I'm gonna take honing steel, I think. Yeah. Makes it very easy to run a single weapon build when you can buff the damage of, you know, not really, you don't want it to be rifle, but it has to be right. If it has to be rifle, it has to be rifle. Honestly, any weapon, ideally, I guess, maybe I go Fanged Inglet. I do win that fight by default, literally having nothing on board. And if you give me the 4-second Fang, I'd be pretty happy about it, actually. Good item to get some additional damage from the Honing Steel, just in case we end up with Kina being the only store that I can get any items from. Because I'm getting experience from 2 spaces here on the first day, so only the final space of 3 can offer me a shop. And if it offers me exclusively Kina, I'm not getting any weapons. Because she doesn't sell any. Get him, Sandy.
Waste of gunpowder.
Deadly Eye. Weapons have 5% crit chance. Neat. And here's our store. Gimme metal is what I wanted. Wow, Curio. All right. What weapon can you give me that I would want to use? Improvised Bludgeon. Every 10 seconds, deal 20 damage. Slows 2 items for 3 seconds. Proboscis. And then Rocket Boots. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, B1? Because I might be thinking what you're thinking if you are, B2. Because Proboscis, when you slow, deal 4 damage. Improvised Bludgeon slows 2 items. I'm going to take that, and that, and that. I guess I should probably also take Feather. I probably don't sell it just yet, though. Which would mean buy and sell old sword bursts.
Clean up the bazaar.
This is a very interesting opening board.
Waiting to be filled.
Teach bronze tier skills. Absolutely take left-handed. I'm gonna take left-handed because it's still gonna be useful later, but I would like that damage to be on the Proboscis, but I guess I'm fine with it being on the Improvised Bludgeon. I do want the Rocket Boots to be able to haste both the Honing Steel and the Improvised Bludgeon. 20 additional damage at the start. Not bad.
Real confidence to let a kid train you. I'm impressed.
So every 4 seconds, the Proboscis gets 12 additional damage, and then every 7 seconds, well, it's actually faster for both of those numbers because of the Rocket Boots, but every 7 seconds, we slow 2 items, dealing 2 times Proboscis in damage. Okay, that's fun. That's a cannon. It does have reload, which is annoying. That's going to be a lot of damage. Without reload, we absolutely win here. Hell yeah! Get him!
Plunder. More plunder.
Oh man, I would love to run a full slow build, and this is the closest I've come in a while. We can find pieces with this. Oh, give me the mosquito. Mountain pass. Let me fight. With no healing, this is certainly going to be a concern. We do scale our damage pretty quickly, but they deal eventually 100 damage basically every 10 seconds. So basically when we get to the sandstorm, we'll be dead. So we really don't want to get to the sandstorm. Slowing 2 items for 3 seconds from Improvised Bludgeon actually sick as hell right now. Get him.
It's over already. We barely got our flags up.
Barbed Wire is a 4-second weapon trigger. Kev's Armory, health toughness, and shield related items. I think I just go experience from Jungle Ruins. I would like to stay alive, which Kev is currently offering a little bit of. But realistically, I really want more slow. Primarily slow and haste and things of that ilk. Giant Mosquito, you say? So Giant Mosquito has, I think yours is a silver proboscis, so you can't drop it. It's not. Sorry, it is silver proboscis. There's also Amber, which you have. Cooldown of 5 seconds, slow 1 item for 3 seconds. Your other slow items have +1 slow. And when you upgrade Amber, it gets additional targets for its slowing, which is really impactful. I know I beat Rogue Scrapper, but Giant Mosquito also has 4% crit chance for all of our items, or at the start of the fight, haste a weapon 3 seconds. Proboscis can't get haste, so that'd immediately give it to the Improvised Bludgeon. The real gem here, literally, is Amber. Kind of difficult to get like a lot of slow on Vanessa early, especially now that the dock lines are silver tier first.
As
Rush.
spineless as a jellyfish.
Start of each fight, haste the weapon 3 seconds, definitely worth it.
Place to store the rest of the tyrant's
Take a bronze
gold.
tier item. It is Seaweed. When you use an aquatic item, this gains +5 heal for the fight. I mean, nice to try and keep us alive a little bit. JJ, you sell items. Why don't you sell me
Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
an item? Ooh, Clamora. Every 9 seconds, slow an item for 1 second at the start of each fight. Use this.
Do you have to leave already?
Having that and upgrading that, super useful here. Life Preserver. First time you die each fight, heal 200. I honestly suspect that buys us this
That
next
doesn't work out
combat.
for you. Come back for a refund.
Maybe I don't need single second haste there. Maybe that's it. Gives me the ability to get the additional damage on the Proboscis by default. Have a slow trigger at the start of the fight. The slow triggers stay here. I mean, eventually the Improvised Bludgeon is going to be sold to give additional seconds of slow to the Clamora. Just not yet. Clamora also gets an additional target every single time you upgrade it for its slow, so very relevant. Finn's Big Bite to get 10 additional shielding from every activation in the Life Preserver versus Keenan literally just looking for the possibility of getting an upgrade to Clamora or Life Preserver or Dock Lines early.
Come with no weapons, leave with big bargains.
Barrel. Every 5 seconds, shield 20. When you use an adjacent non-weapon item, this gains 10 shield for the fight. I suspect that might be better than both Clamora and Seaweed in this next combat. that we could just run Light Preserver over the other side of Honing Steel and then put the barrel between them in order to get some scaling shielding to help me get through a combat or two. Obviously, we're not keeping it for long. Is it better?
Your aura guided me
Yes.
what you needed.
I guess it really depends on the enemy. I think it'll be better against Vanessa. Activating
We're out to
Yempy.
dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies. Go ahead, underestimate.
Yeah, just a bunch of
Makes
damage on
this
board.
more
That makes
fun.
sense. That's a Toxic Fang. You have a Toxic Fang and the Shark Claws. How dare you? Okay, that's a lot of damage. I'm very glad that I have the barrel as well as the Life Preserver here. I'm not certain if it's going to be enough, especially with the Fiery Cutlass with left-handed. Can I get to one more resolution on my improvised bludgeon, please? I'm not going to get there. Fiery Cutlass kills me.
I paint my
Dang.
ship red.
Yeah, I would have killed him as well.
I don't use.
150 shielding out of the barrel. I think it definitely was worth its while there. All right, I really need to get some slow. Andy, you sell small items. That could be a clamor upgrade.
Haggling. Ugh.
Grappling hook. I'll take it.
Diamonds come in small boxes.
I wouldn't usually, but we are where we are. Crit chance, my main damage is going to be dealt by the Proboscis, which is a passive trigger, so I'm not capable of critting on that passive trigger, so it's not relevant for that. I will...
More raids, more bounty.
I was going to buy Chum. If it was easy to sell, of course. Isla, you sell weapons, but like the only weapon I care about right now is already on my board. Bolus, I guess I technically care about Bolus, but Bolus runs out of ammo before Proboscis is even capable of doing damage. Hell yes. Eccentric Etherite, rather. If you give me haste, obviously, rigged would be insane. I just need to do consistent enough damage to keep you down. And Life Preserver will get me if I miss it. Yeah, we got this.
I've got a lot of work to do, but this'll be fun.
It's possible the enemy upgrades my barbed wire, I guess. Not really what I'm looking for, but I'd take it.
Seeing spots here.
Good work, Proboscis. Rigged. Dang. Goggles. When this gains haste, your items gain 4% crit chance for the fight. Not really relevant.
Another empty chest, waiting to be filled.
Upgraded bronze tier item is definitely not the Proboscis. It gets barely any damage out of it. It's going to be the Clamora for an additional slow target.
Haha. Now this will inspire the crew.
Oh, well, I beat you before, but I don't know if I can beat you with all of these extra items on field. Eccentric Etherite. Ooh. Please. Actually, let me play the video game I'd really like to. By beating the Eccentric Etherite here, we're also going to be able to get enough experience to get our...
Place to store the rest of the tyrant's gold.
No problem, I'll upgrade that Clamor again.
Keener the blade,
It's...
quicker the fight.
You're going to show me the... That should have been the eccentric otherite. That's actually pretty frustrating. I really would have preferred to fight the otherite and possibly get a that's what I'm looking for here. I guess weak point detect is pretty good when you slow charges 2 seconds. I would have liked to fight the eccentric otherite to get the possibility of rigged. Rigged is obviously the huge hit. Everyone's talking about rigged. I guess they have bolus. They've got an upgrade for my grappling hook, which sure, I would run because I'm currently running grappling hook. I don't want to run grappling hook, but what do you do? Laser pistol every 4 seconds deals 16 damage. Excellent. Way not enough. Lost crate. That would give us our level up already. Kina, you sell non-weapon items, and non-weapon items are the items I need most right now, unfortunately. Shame to have to take the crate then.
Another empty chest, waiting to be filled.
Bloodhound doesn't work at the moment. It's bugged. Unfortunately, it would be really good if it did. Fiery, no. Freeze. I don't do that. Command ship. If you have a vehicle, reduce your non-vehicle items cooldowns by 10%. I love the new rowboat. I would happily field the new rowboat. That said, the first time you haste each, right, which is literally in the very first second, freeze an item.
There are
Can't turn that down.
Staircase, but it's beautiful up there.
Obstacle course for a slow item. I mean, yeah. Ugh, that's the worst one. Every 8 seconds, slow one item for 3 seconds, fishing net. It's absolutely not good enough to actually field, unfortunately. It's the slowest slow item there is. If this was gold tier and was slowing 3 items, maybe I would run it. That tells you how much I dislike it, right? It's a maybe after all of the things. Yeah, so we're just going to get a piranha at the end of the day.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
In retrospect, I wish I'd fought the Kyber drone because I could have possibly gotten trained. Oh, wow. Hello. You've got a bee, but you don't have... Well, that's fun. They have a bee on field, but they don't have the beehive, so when I use a weapon, they don't charge their busy bee. I'm very glad to have another health pool coming out of this life preserver, because otherwise I would have lost there. We are starting to get to the point the life preserver should either be upgraded or removed from the board, though. Absolutely Nautica for aquatic items. The ooh, Illuso Ray. Slow an item every 2 seconds. Sorry, slow an item for 2 seconds every 7 seconds. For each adjacent friend, this gains +1 multicast. I'm not certain how many friends I'm actually going to field.
You're the only air breather I like.
It's definitely not Narwhal. Water wheel. Haste your other items 2 seconds. When you use an adjacent item, charge this 2 seconds. I can give that 3 seconds of haste for all other items. It can get some charge at the very start of the fight from a Clamra. I feel like I take and field that.
Scrape off the barnacles. Good as new.
An additional second of haste. I'll get 2% cooldown reduction for the board as well. So Water Wheel activates in 8.8 seconds. It hastes our other items for 3 seconds. When you use an adjacent item, we charge this 2 seconds. It gets 2 seconds charge at the very start of the fight because of the Clamora. Clamora will then end up with haste. I don't think this gets us to perma-haste just yet. But it's not too far. I'm going to go to the workshop for a tool, and I'm really hoping it's dock lines. Wow. It's 1 gold. Hydro, dude. Buddy, I definitely beat you, and you have all the items I care about right now. Yeah, I definitely beat you. Single slow. A faster item should probably be next to the water wheel. 2 seconds of charge at the very start of the fight is probably not worth as much as keeping it in perma-haste by having, like, just a faster activating item next to it. But getting to your first haste is really important. When you use an adjacent item, it's giving out 3 seconds of haste. So this, with 3 seconds of haste, gets 1.5 charges out on the field already. Yeah, I do think I'm going to flip the seaweed over to the yellow position there. All right, Hydro dude. Do you dare give me electric eels? Because you could dare. And that would be sick as hell. You can also give me either of your skills. When you slow, your items gain 2% crit chance for the fight, or when you slow, your weapons gain 3 damage for the fight. I'd be pretty happy about both. Dang. One of the worst options. Chum, your aquatic items gain 6% crit chance for the fight. When you buy this, get a piranha. Silver tier weapon, silver tier loot item, silver tier item. I would prefer it be an item in general, I believe. Flagship. If you have another tool, ammo, property, or friend. We've got Honing Steel, which is the tool that you want with Flagship. We've got a property in Water Wheel. We have a friend that I could field. I think we should probably give this a moment's consideration at the absolute least, because it's got 3 multicasts next to the water wheel, so it's capable of keeping us in perma-haste. Loser raise a friend as well, so I can get to a full 4 multicast for it. Improvised Bludgeon will eventually be sold in order to give Clamora additional slow. I'm going to do that now. It's definitely one of the worst board slots for us right now. Curio could give additional slow, additional haste to the water wheel as well. Flagship.
Reuse, recycle, relax.
First things first, I'm going to buy the Taurus Chariot and then sell it, giving +1 value to all of our items. I obviously intend to sell a lot of these items. Keeping my slow sub-theming here, but I'm pretty sure that's scaling off. Makeshift Barricade, additional second of slow for the Clamora, please. Slow 2 items, 3 seconds at the start of the fight, and it does that constantly after. Magnifying and Old Sword, both to buff the damage of the flagship, seem pretty appropriate.
Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything.
Insect Wing is cooldown reduction also. I'll upgrade the Proboscis.
Hooey! Now that's a bargain. Warms my rusty circuits to see that find a home.
I think I cooldown reduce the water wheel and then everything by 2%. I'm almost feeling like I should replace the seaweed with a knee brace. But flagship is an aquatic item, so the seaweed will actually get some good healing. Tina, do you want to show me dock lines and pull me back in the direction of the other build? Coral as well as catfish? When this gains haste, it gains 2 poison for the fight. I don't really want that to be relevant.
Use that for the good of all.
Oh. Weather glass. Another item with burn, poison, slow, or freeze. Poison, slow. No burn, no freeze. Yeah, I don't think that's relevant to us then. Get a multicast on the Illuso Ray, but that's actually not relevant for Illuso Ray right now because like the slow doesn't do anything. So I think we run Catfish over Illuso Ray, and then if we go back to the slow build, we're going to have Catfish and Illuso Ray for the additional multicast. I'm keeping Clamor next to the water wheel for 2 seconds charge on the water wheel at the very start of the fight, because after that, when the flagship goes off every 5.9 seconds, it will trigger basically the entire charge of the water wheel, giving out 3 seconds of haste to everything else. 3 seconds of haste gets the flagship to its next charge. So we just need to get this. This will perma-haste our properties. I just need to get its first activation to happen as quickly as possible. And giving it 2 seconds charge at the very start of the fight. Is that a good way to do that? Yeah, when I need the honing steel on the other side of flagship, it is. I'm trying to give us a possibility of pivoting back into slow, because I'd love to, but like... We've got haste on the flagship at the very start of the fight. We've got Clamra. The water wheel has just gone off, and now we're in perma-haste territory, and the enemy has died. So I think it's going okay. I really wish I had your vehicle. Well, I mean, I got quick freeze instead, but your vehicle, if you have a vehicle, give all of your non-vehicle items 10% cooldown reduction would have been lovely. I just didn't know I was going to find a flagship. Flagship can't stay for long, though.
Make deals, not war.
I'm not pivoting to Crow's Nest to put flagship on the field. Like, that is the haste is hugely important right now. Astrolabe, when you use another non-weapon item, charge this 1 second. No, thank you. Wow. Yeah, I'll upgrade that. Vanessa's Amulet. Your items have 20% additional crit chance. I mean, Grappling Hook never wants to go back on board. We want other, more prominent slows if I'm really going to put that back on board. Water Wheel, lose a second off of your cooldown, please.
Glad you bought this.
Vanessa's Amulet for crit chance is nice, but I would have to sell and lose our way to get it. 20% crit chance. Just have to take a seaweed off the field. I could crit exclusively on flagship. I don't think I need it right now. Certainly not enough to sell things I don't want to sell. It was a random slow item in the obstacle course, but golden experience. I'm running out of both. So, golden experience, please. Giganabo.
You'd make a lovely step.
I'd be pretty happy to get Paralytic Poison. The first time you poison each fight, freeze an item 3 seconds. Or Petrifying Gaze. First time you fall below half health each fight, freeze all enemy items 2 seconds. Or even the Vial of Blood. When you sell this, gain 1 experience.
How would you?
Toxic Clockwork Blade, so 2% cooldown reduction to our items on board would be nice. And we get the Black Rose. When you poison, this gains 10 heal for the fight. Yucky. Upgrade a silver or lower tier item. The upgrade for Clamor to slow a third target for 3 seconds at the start of the fight, admittedly, is huge. Upgrading Honing Steel would be... +4 damage every activation? It's not very good. Honing Steel is going to be want to be replaced with a different scaling strategy, I think. Flagship would just get 25 damage straight up. So do I want 25 damage immediately, or do I want 25 damage after I have activated the Honing Steel 6 times? 5 times? Seven times.
I know the eastern sky is beautiful.
It's upgrade flagship right now.
But can we get moving?
I'm wondering if there is a chance that I can enchant flagship with heavy.
Now this will
Its heavy is slow a
inspire the
single item for
crew.
2 seconds. That's not as impactful as I wanted. Because if I could have enchanted it with heavy and it was slowing like 3 items or something like that. Because large items often slow multiple items with their heavy enchant. But if it was that case, then easily Proboscis can go back on field. Well,
Back to change of clothes, because you're gonna get dirty.
oh my god. Torpedo. When you use another aquatic or ammo item, this gains 25 damage for the fight. If the item is large, reload 1 ammo. It does seem like Torpedo is supposed to go with Flagship or with Submarine, but Flagship requires so many other things. Like, this is an ammo item, sure, but like if I'm putting a property on field, it's probably 3 space. So this, Torpedo, that, what, I have 2 spaces left? And those 2 spaces specifically exactly have to be a tool and a friend?
Oh, a break. I don't take those myself.
Maybe that's not bad, but this is only scaling 25 additional damage. I'd basically be losing Seaweed and Clamor, and Clamor slowing them at the start of the fight is huge for us right now. No, I can find something better than that. Probably. Nightshade, when you heal, this gains 2 poison for the fight. No, thank you. Radiant Nesting Doll. Oh, it's Radiant. Cool. Can't be frozen, slowed, or destroyed. And then there's Black Ice. Figurehead. Aquatic items to the left of this have their cooldowns reduced by 10%. Marbles. When you use an adjacent item, charge this 1 second.
Magnificent find.
Tox Clock sells haste, slow, and cooldown items. Okay.
You don't have time not to buy this.
We're absolutely upgrading Clamor. I'll sell Black Rose and roll here. I was really hoping for more slow than this. That's okay. Sextant, when you crit, hasten an item for 1 second. Adjacent items have 15% additional crit chance. This is also a tool, so it would be a way to replace the Honing Steel and the Seaweed. Get 20% crit chance on the flagship, and then hope whenever it crits to haste other items, but that's what the Water Wheel is currently here for. So I don't think this is better yet, but this is definitely where we're going. 6.7, 3.4. So you'd go there, you'd go there, that'd go there. Oh, the Radiant, by the way, was that was how I get the ammo. Oops. I guess Bolus is right there. Currently, the strongest thing we do, I think, is literally Clamora. Haste doesn't start the fight if I don't have Proposis. So I'm losing Seaweed and picking up Marbles here. Marbles really wants to be next to Flagship, but it can't be. I could sell Illuso Ray or Proboscis. I don't think I sell Proboscis. It really depends on what skills I end up finding as to whether or not I pivot entirely back in the direction of slow. But if I sold the Illuso Ray, I could buy Bolus and field them. They are a weapon only, not a weapon and a tool, unfortunately. But they are an ammo item, so I would get the 5th multicast out of the flagship. I don't think I need that right now, and I don't want to tear apart what I currently have in order to get it.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms. Go
I feel like
ahead,
that's a
underestimate me.
character name or an enemy name in a game. Tempering, and you've got a lot of fast weapons on that field. That's pretty terrifying.
Bring her back.
I
I've
see.
got another salvo in me.
Thankfully, you have no lifesteal. Also, haste at the start of the fight, immediately triggering a freeze on an item that will then get perma-haste for the rest of the combat afterwards. It's pretty wild. I mean, yeah, sure, Barkun's there, but the Bazaar con is offering me 2 experience. Slow-Mo Lumbra does sell slow skills, but unfortunately the slow skills we really care about are gold tier. Currently he's offering mostly silver and bronze. So instead I'm going to go for the gold, all in.
But he can never surpass me in years.
Sick burn, mate. The first 5 times you poison each fight, charge a burn item 1 second. I really like that when you've got a weather glass on field, but I don't. First time you use a large item each fight, adjacent items gain 20% crit chance for the fight. Does Water Wheel go off before flagship? 5.4 seconds into the fight, it does go up before flagship. No, flagship gets the haste from rush, it doesn't go up before flagship. So flagship is going to try and give crit chance to Honing Steel and Waters. We roll. Submerged. Your weapons gain +6 damage for each aquatic item you have, and shield for each aquatic shield. Sure. That's enough damage for the flagship right now.
Thank you.
Colt sells ammo items. Getting a single slot ammo item right now is really relevant, but Pyre sells burn items, and that could be a pop snapper that I get for free.
What brings a softie to Roughtown?
Ballista. When you use another ammo item, this gains +1 multicast for the fight. Neat.
Old saying round here, an empty gun is an empty wallet.
I mean, I'm absolutely going to go for the Loan Shark and get my level 9 level up before we get the next fight.
Paying it back is tomorrow.
I guess I basically only wanted Pop Snappers or Nesting Doll from Colt. Bit too narrow. I mean, yeah, if you give me Shark Ray, I'll find a way to use it. ATM. 2 additional income. It's also a smaller property if I ended up with perma-haste from other things. Could replace the Water Wheel, is what I would be saying. Chillium. Well, I'll be. Yeah, I think I would. If you give me the Icy Hammock, 2 seconds to heal 100 and freeze a medium or small item for a second. I think I would put that between my 2 large items on field in order to have a 2-second freeze. Dang. Igloo. Freeze an item for 2 seconds every 6 seconds, shield 100. First time you fall below half health each fight, use this. Give me a silver tier item and it's dock lines. Dang, it's Astro. I mean, these are... Oh, no. I do want aquatic items. Nautica has the items I want. Has Lighthouse, has Clamorous upgrade, has obviously flagship and water wheel as well. But, like, are we going to get reloaded before... Okay, cool. Thank you.
All of this is like a gift from the sea. Or something.
Ah. All right, I'm going to pause the recording and reboot the game. This is the fog of war bug. Occasionally happens when you reload and go back to something. The fog of war is there and nothing will spawn. So, in a sec, I'll be back.
Seaweed. So cute.
All right, we gotta do it. There's the electric eels. So what would the board be like? That off somewhere. I don't even have space for Clamor on this version of the board. Unless I take the water wheel off, but the water wheel is my perma-haste right now. I don't think electric eels, especially when I'd still have to upgrade them to get to silver tier, is the choice there. It's just way too slow against certain builds. Lighthouse. When you slow, charges 2 seconds.
Scrape off the barnacles. Good as new.
We slow 3 items at the start of the fight, which immediately triggers the Lighthouse. So we've got Clamor and Lighthouse both triggered, giving 4 seconds worth of charge to the water wheel. Proboscis and Honing Steel are no longer, at least until I get some additional damage scaling that doesn't require on-homing steel, they're no longer the payoff for this build. They're actually in the way. What I need is more... slow. Lighthouse is pretty fast. Marbles is between 2 of the other fastest items on the field. Is this better than the flagship? It's ultimately the question. I can totally foresee a version of this build that doesn't even run the water wheel. It's got Astrolabe and Proboscis. We've deactivated our ability to get Rush, Left-Handed, Deadly Eye, and Quick Freeze doesn't happen at the very start of the fight anymore. And in exchange for all of that, I get to perma-slow my enemies. You know, McLovin, I actually do believe this board is stronger than my previous. Oh, God. Time to tinker when you haste shield 10. When you use a weapon. Okay, so it's not... Oh, God, but you do have Armadillo on field. So all of your hastes are additional Armadillo triggers. I'm very glad that I have slows for you then. That's a pretty large amount of burn. I think what I ultimately end up running as my board state is entirely going to depend on the enchant we're offered. And thankfully we'll be offered that before I actually get into another PvP combat. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I know there's some cinders for additional burn on the Lighthouse. I know that Scurio can also give additional burn to Lighthouse. It could give additional slow, it could give additional haste. It's got a bunch of stuff it could do, but fighting a monster and getting more experience is almost always going to be better, especially when it's Cosmic Rock and it has the chance to give us 6% crit, 12% crit chance for all of our items, or even the spicy little 6% cooldown reduction for the entire board.
It's over already. We barely got our flags up.
Marbles is definitely between the two most appropriate items, and since we do end up getting into perma-haste, and I don't care about the amount of haste triggers coming out of Water Wheel, it's very minimal. I don't care about the amount of haste triggers coming out of Water Wheel, so Clamor is also in the right position. I just need it to get to perma-haste, and I need it to get there as early as possible, which is what it's currently accomplishing. Middle, you specifically sell dock lines. Would you like to sell it to me? Sniper rifle deals 5 times as more damage if it's your only weapon. It would be. It didn't even have rush. I don't even have left-handed. I'm not gonna use it though. Fishing net slows 2 items. How much is slow? More than that. Rowboat charges adjacent items 1 second. If you have 5 or more unique types, reduces items cooldown by 50%. Friend, aquatic, ray, toy, property, and vehicle. So I could easily do that. The problem would be, what would I take off board for it? It would need to be pretty good. That said, like a rowboat that's charging Clamor and Lighthouse constantly. Pretty insane, but also getting perma-haste on them is pretty insane. I'd have to replace the perma-haste in some way. I guess Astrolabe would be that. Haste a non-weapon item for 2 seconds. When you use another non-weapon item, charge this 1 second. Scaling from Honing Steel is just too slow. I'm gonna buy and hold Rowboat.
I think you're really gonna enjoy that.
Shielded. So flagship would definitely shield equal to the item's damage. Makes sense. Don't have any damage scaling for it just yet. I would need to find some. Lighthouse, how much would you shield for? Equal to 10 times this item's burn, 160. And if I increase your burn, it shields more. That's not bad. What about Water Wheel? When you use an adjacent item, shield 20? It's significantly less than the Lighthouse is capable of giving us. Of course, Lighthouse has a burn enchant that would be insane. If I randomly enchanted the feather, it would specifically get shiny, which would be 12% cooldown reduction for our entire board. Because it's the only enchant it can get. %12% cooldown reduction for the entire board when they're about triggering one another and charge. That might be something. I think I'm so far away from flagship being usable again. I need my burn, I need my slow payoff to be more powerful than it currently is. Proboscis and scaling damage on Proboscis is one way to do that. I just don't know if the 12% cooldown reduction is going to be enough to really make big difference. Would it be random on Lighthouse, or would it just be Guardian's Gorge Lighthouse so I can get some shield? Let's gorge it. Excuse me, 190. Oh, right, it's getting the additional shielding from Submerged. Your weapons have +6 damage for each aquatic item you have. Your shield items have +6 for each shield aquatic item you have. I'm going to sell the feather for the cooldown reduction. And now we'll fight the Radiant Corsair. I mean, I would love you to give me your Lighthouse so I can get a diamond tier online this early. That'd be incredible for us. So it looks like on a bad cycle, we're just shy of perma-haste at the moment.
I say we join up. Take down some cloud tops.
Yes, thank you. Lighthouse upgrade, dude. That also upgrades the amount of shielding it gives because it gives it more burn, and its burn is based on its shield. Isla, you sell weapons. I'm pretty sure Astrolabe does not give us the ability to use the docks appropriately, but it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. 5 gold, 1 experience. That'll get us our level 11 level up. Level 11 level up. Try saying that 10 times fast. Aldane, you sell skills unique to Vanessa. Please sell me, specifically, a skill called Barnacle Encrusted.
I'm done with Pelaga. The Bazaar's the only sea I sail.
Alright, I'll take Oceanic Rush. At the start of each fight, haste an aquatic item 2 seconds, immediately triggering the freeze, as well as hasting an aquatic item.
Got a Corsair's spirit.
Hey, Paul. You don't...
are amusing. Why so fight?
You don't want to just... Evidently, he didn't.
Was it too heavy? They tell me it's a problem.
No, you didn't have a heavy enough item for me, actually, as it turns out. That's what I wanted. I wanted the biggest one you had. Savage from...
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist,
I'm guessing this is
you should
Savage
know
from New
I'm a
Mexico.
bit of a legend on Pelago.
Much less likely that it's Savage from North Michigan. I guess this is exactly the kind of build against whom I'm really happy that I have shield on my Lighthouse, but also I'm pretty happy I got perma-slow.
Bring her
Get
back!
burnt!
I've got another salvo in me.
I'm so glad I'm not running into fixer-uppers right now. Because it feels like this build is good, but it would feel like the build is bad if I was only running into the enemy that gains a ridiculous amount of shield and then punches you in the face for it. Super quickly. Middle. Do you want to upgrade my rowboat?
No sale. I want what's right for you.
You know what? I'll buy and sell a disguise. Why not?
For a free ride home, but people thought it was weird.
That's fun. Shadowed Cloak. No. Shark Ray if it was like diamond tier at the moment, maybe? For me, it's going to be Andy. I'm specifically looking for an upgrade to Clamra.
You've just taken the first step
I'll take a loser, Ray.
that. I mean, excellent choice.
Pesky Pete. For each adjacent friend or property, this gains +4 burn. Admittedly, I do want that. It's a friend. It does burn. property, but marbles is going to want to be the thing between shielded Lighthouse and the Illuso Ray. We gave up on flagship, so it's not time for nesting doll. Oasis Guardian, you have a slow payoff in your build, don't you? You do indeed. Got a sneaky little slow payoff in there for me? I mean, I don't really have space for slow payoffs at this point.
See that plank? Walk it.
I'm glad it didn't give me the fossilized femur. 12 seconds, deal 300 damage when you slow, charges 2 seconds, and it gains 50 damage to the fight. I'm actually glad it didn't give me that because it would have caused me to get rid of this Lighthouse, and I don't want to get rid of the Lighthouse. I liked it. Jules Cafe, temporary boost. I'll either be going there or for the recycling center. The recycling center is a non-space limited item, so it's more likely to be good gold value. We got the fishing net. Fine. Gold tier aquatic, gold tier loot, please. I am looking for cooldown reduction or burn. Burn would be great. Gunpowder. That could certainly be relevant. Head to the Shrouded Figure for 2 to 4 experience and fight time.
We're out to dethrone a king.
The fact that Glamor is slowing 3 items at the start of the fight for 3 seconds is really transformative. It's slowing down the speed at which my enemies can activate that. Like, they only have 4 items on that board that can be slowed. But, like, they're in perma-slow, so the enemy is doing half as much stuff as they would otherwise. I think I've got to think about slow like this. Like, yes, the payoff for slow might be, you know, Lighthouse or slow and steady or Robosis or whatever, right? Like, whatever cares that you slowed. Sure, they're the payoff. But also, the payoff is that you are permanently locking down the enemy by perma-slowing their board. I just halved all of the things they could do. They were going to scale. They were going to try. They were going to try to scale. Not on my watch. A bucket saved my life once. You just never know. Do you want to give me a... I wouldn't even use docklines, would I? I would.
I've got everything you need to do anything you want.
Captain's Wheel. Ace adjacent items 2 seconds. If you have a vehicle or a large item, reduce its item's cooldown by 60%. No, it's fine. Really?
I get new stock every day. Maybe next time.
Someone's gonna have to give me a docklines one of these days. I demand. I really want to upgrade Water Wheel, but it doesn't need much. I think I upgrade Clamor here. I need anything that gives me additional slow. Slowing a 4th item for 3 seconds at the start of the fight, that's huge. Bloodreef Captain, you could have some cooldown reduction for our board, but realistically, it's only 5%. No, it's not even 5%. I have no tools, I have no weapons, and I have no vehicles, so it's literally nothing for me. Ferrous Khan, Energy Potion, obviously the best thing there. The possibility of removing Water Wheel to just put an Energy Potion on the field, like Energy Potion Robo, would be sick as hell. Enclave Revenant, that's the ability to level up before the next fight. The fact that only Energy Potion is the only thing I care about from Ferrous Khan, I can't take that risk and miss out on experience while taking it. Especially when I'm in the position to actually level up if I take the higher experience fight. Basilisk's Fang. While your enemy has poison, this has plus 50% crit chance. I honestly think relaxing into the next fight is probably a good idea right now. Give me 1300 shield before the next combat, and also another level up, please. Malafang, your burn skills at the moment now might be relevant. I mean, anything that increases the amount of burn is hugely relevant already, and that's like a lot of what you do. First time you use large item each? No. Using leftmost? No. When you burn or when you poison, do the other. Those are the least relevant ones, certainly.
Welcome.
Your leftmost burn has plus 6 burn, which is another plus 60 shield. Yep, literally just increases burn. First time you burn each fight, freeze an item in 3 seconds. Actually, that happens at the very start of the fight because of Clamora, so I'm gonna take the freeze. All right. Steel yourself. It's time for Rogrash, Rogret. We've already gotten 7 wins. That's already enough to open 100 chests at the end of this episode. Yep, that's what I expected to see. Get frozen. Now, can I stack enough burn on you to prevent this from ending my life? The answer appears to be no. Like, sure, I'm burning a huge amount. I'm poisoning a decent amount. I don't think I can outshield the Sandstorm, though. Yeah. I even specifically froze all your stuff. Alas. I mean, if our burn grew higher and could actually suppress the enemy's shield, that's obviously where you want to be, but it didn't. This build is definitely not going to have enough damage to continue running for long past day 10.
Is talking fast.
Trebuchet. Want to use another weapon or haste? Charge this. Hear me out. What about Damn? Destroy this and all smaller items of the fight whenever you use an aquatic item. Charge this 2 seconds. Use an aquatic item at the start of the fight, courtesy of Clamora. It causes a trigger of Shielded Lighthouse at the absolute least, which is another aquatic item. 2 more seconds charge on the Dam. The water wheel comes up pretty soon thereafter, giving us haste to our entire board. Another aquatic item. The Dam gets it. I mean, I don't end up with perma-haste, right? That's one big thing. Because I lack the slow of the Illuso Ray and the marbles, the Shielded Lighthouse goes off significantly less often. And then if I do destroy the entire board, I still just lose to their fixer-upper because I can't hit them for, like, yes, Shielded Lighthouse is here, but it triggers every 5.6 seconds. It doesn't have any slow triggers. But also, what if Dam's just good? It kills all of their double value. No balcony. No deed. They'll have burn on them. You know what? I've already got 7 wins. You know how likely it is I get 10 wins in this meta right now? Not. It's not. So why don't I just Have some fun. It's the last run of this patch. Why not? JJ, you sell items?
People person, and sometimes I sell stuff.
Cool.
Maybe I'm not cut out for business.
I mean, let's just see what this does, right? It's a fun effect. Uh-huh. And then it's just me and my lighthouse on the field, burning every so often. I mean, if the shielded fixer-upper truly had no doubling effects afterwards, I think I might actually have them with this. Maybe. It's also possible they would just shield enough with the fixer-upper that I would still lose in the sandstorm.
Waste of gunpowder.
Let's quickly grab a gold tier loot item. Look at the cooldown reduction as per usual. Wow, even more gunpowder. Midsworth, you sell small and large items. It's possible you sell
Life and business. Happy to exploit you. I mean, help you.
It's possible he could have sold the boulder and the. It's definitely skills.
My lessons are painful.
Ooh, 9 more burn on the lighthouse. Hasting a second item is really good, but 9 more burn on the lighthouse. Thank you.
My skills are not weapons. A blade can prune a garden.
I don't think I need this board against a Vanessa. I think against Vanessa I run the traditional version of it.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms. My fight isn't with you, but if you insist...
Yes, I could destroy all of that board. By the time I do, you probably do a lot of damage with it already, though. Perma-slowing your board as well as burning you and shielding myself, well, now that seems good enough.
Next time, boys, less blunder, more plunder.
You have to love a run where you get Cosmic Wind when you haste your items 1 second. Oh yeah, rigged. You've got Iron Sharpens Iron for a bunch of damage on the Toxic Double Barrel. You've even got Lifting, so when you buy weapons, you just give a bunch of damage to... That's so cool. I'm very glad that I have some shielding, so that I can survive that.
You're huge. Do you have any huge items?
We're way past using Weather Glass at this point. Cool.
Go buy something huge and then sell it to me.
I don't really want to get rid of almost any of my items, but I don't think Rowboat goes back on board. It would have to... Yeah, it'd have to have so much stuff. I don't think Proboscis ever goes back on board. I would have to get a skill that scales damage when slow, but also, what, do I take Catfish? No, because that's additional slow from Illuso Ray. Illuso Ray? No, that's slow. Marble? No, that's slow. Shielded Lighthouse? That's a payoff. Haste Giver and Clamourer. Like, it comes down to getting perma-haste from some different source. And I'm not thinking that's very likely. I mean, the ideal way for me to have perma-haste right now would be to get the option to go to max store, just get an energy potion, and then give it +4 max ammo. So yeah, give me max store. C. It is M-A-K apostrophe S. Max. Not Max. Grad unatem. Yeah, I will... Actually, no. I'm not going to get the additional second of haste out of the water wheel. We're pretty much at perma-haste already. I'm going to go for all in.
Surpassed me in power, but he can never surpass me in years.
That's 5 times you use a tool each fight. Slow an item? I don't have any. Woof. All about damage. Mixed message. First 4 times use a non-weapon item each fight. Charge a weapon 1 second. I'll take it, but I'm sad. Into a tira. Trash Titan for Juggler, obviously incredible, but Lord of the Wastes gives me money and experience, and I really need that money right now. Pendulum. Every 8 seconds, haste 3 seconds for 3 items, 3 seconds. When you crit, charges 2 seconds. I wonder if I could put that next to the Lighthouse. I have nothing else that crits, though.
Someday you will see.
Bar of gold, another 40 gold. 13 for beating you, 4 experience, and then another 40 thereafter. Love it. Grandmaster, you sell skill upgrades. Anything that extends the duration of freeze or hastes an additional item are certainly our priorities right now. Additional second of the freeze at the very start of the fight as well, because Oceanic Rush happens at the start of the fight, causing haste, causing freeze. %6 for the board, definitely worth. I mean, yes, 2 burn is nice. I do think this is better than putting Dan back on board against Dooley. It's really important to perma-slow Dooley's stuff. Well, because otherwise he uses it, and you don't want him to use it. God forbid. Oh! Oh, it's a railgun. I'm very glad I froze it. It's going to get very close to firing. And they froze my Lighthouse, which was actually pretty frustrating. They're getting a lot of shielding. I'm not getting so much. I'm getting a lot of burn on them, but it's not enough to suppress their shielding. We're going to lose. Oh well. So if I had Dam on that field, interestingly enough, we still lose. Shielded Railgun. If I get Clamora upgraded with, like, Radiant, it's so unlikely, but if it just happens to happen, then I'll run the Dam again. But the Shielded Railgun would have still stayed there. It wouldn't have had any other tech items, but it would have had itself still, and it would have been enough to beat the Shielded Lighthouse back.
Time is an endless now.
Oh my god. That's the best. The slow. The slow. Water Wheel could slow a single item for 3 seconds. Proboscis doesn't have a slow enchant. That makes sense. I mean, it's Water Wheel, but I don't want it to be. I'd love it to be something else, actually, instead. But it's Water Wheel. What about Dam? What would Dam do? It would slow all enemy items for 3 seconds when it happens. It destroys them. What? All right. Yeah, I guess the slow... Well, I mean, Clamora slowing 4 items 6 seconds at the start of the fight is funny, but we already get to perma-slow pretty soon. Malafong for burn skills, Bjorn teaches free skills. Haste the first time you freeze at the fight. The invigorating cold would be pretty good. Because we haste at the very start of the fight, we freeze at the very start of the fight, and then we could even get additional haste at the start of the fight. But Malafong giving additional burn to Shielded Lighthouse still matters, because the Shielded Lighthouse scales its...
I know my incendiaries.
Scales its damage... sorry, its shield off of our burn. 3 additional burn. When you use an ammo item burn, don't have ammo. And the first time you use large item burn. Oh. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for. Conflagration. When you use an item with burn, that item gains +1 burn for the fight.
There's more than one burn.
Pearl.
You packed a change of clothes, because you're gonna get dirty.
The heavy electric eels. And it's fully upgraded. I mean, how is it not just that?
Hey, you're a natural at this.
I gotta say, there's a part of me that's like, thinking about this? Every 6 seconds, it slows an item for 4 seconds. It'll be my weapon gaining haste at the start of the fight from Rush. Every time my enemy uses 2 items, this activates, slowing an item, as well as causing 2 seconds of trigger on Shielded Light. Heavy Water Wheel will take this down to a 3-second trigger in order to do it slow. Yeah. Then the final question really becomes, do I field Damn? Because then eventually, when Shielded Lighthouse and Heavy Electric Eels are the only items on the board, that'd be good. I think I could totally field Damn with this.
Right. Back to business. Oh, I didn't want to sell that anyway.
I mean, Awakened District's exactly where I'm going. But I don't use Damn in that fight. Also, like, if you give me, when you use a large item, haste another item for 4 seconds, that's it. I can take the Heavy Water Wheel off the field. I no longer need it for any haste. Please do it. Please.
Was that even a battle? Maybe a skirmish.
Balcony. Probably the left has double value in combat. Cooldown reduced by 20%. Oh, cool. I could get 20% cooldown off of Damn. Get rid of the catfish now, which is really kind of committing to my current version of the board. Oh, gold tier gunpowder, finally. Give me a gold or diamond tier loot item and hopefully it's cooldown reduction. It's poison. I'll take 1800 shield before I go into the next combat. It really matters who we're up against as to what version of the board I think might be better. Like, if the enemy is unlikely to activate multiple items, then, like, obviously the heavy eels make no sense. Pig. I think my only chance against Pig is to destroy. Heavy electric eels will respond to them using the fixer-upper while it's going, and then hopefully if I survive, by freezing enough of their stuff until I destroy things with Dam. Then we win. That's my plan. Archangel! Will you be mine?
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on
I'd
Palago.
love you for all time. Yep, that's the build. Oh, they've got 2 actives on their board, but we did freeze the obsidian, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I don't think I can beat that. I even used the dam. This is exactly what I was telling you about the possibility of this happening. So, well, that's fun. Your items have double value in combat from Deed, and Deadly Balcony has double value in combat. Even when they're destroyed, it still keeps the value. Also, they've got Master Salesman, Deed, and Deadly Balcony. They have all of the doubles for the Shielded Fixer-Upper right there. And this is why we're happy that the patch is tomorrow. I am very keen for builds to no longer be either Fixer-Upper or an attempt to respond to Fixer-Upper if they want to have any chance of going to 10 wins. I'm not super salty about that being the meta, but like, I will be happy for it to change. I mean, I only got to use this for a single fight. Realistically, this was our build. Shielded Lighthouse, Clamora. Had the heavy water wheel as well. Luzo Ray, Proboscis. Carried us for a little bit of time at the start of the fight. We even had marbles.
All of this is just training. Our real fight is on Palago.
And we'll take that real fight on Palaga, and over the course of that real fight, the game is going to be patched, and I'll be back tomorrow with a new run. Before you leave though, remember, I have 101 chests right now. I'm going to open them. Well, I'll open 100. Unless I end up getting 9 additional chests from my opening, in which case I'll open 110. Obviously, looking for the legendary skins of other characters. I've already got Tech Pygmalion. Oh, that's actually a good board. I don't think I have this yet. House Corzina. Okay, so obviously it's a Vanessa board, both in its coloration and also House Corvina. I don't know exactly what that, like, she says she's from House Corvina as one of her lines. I kind of want to know more information. Reynad says that, ooh. Reynad says that the team is set up to do cinematics, like quite complex cinematics, and we see one of those in the intro screen. I love TF2. One of the biggest things I loved about TF2 that made me fall in love with it in the first place was the Meet the team. I would love to see just things of that quality coming out for this game as well. I'm intrigued enough to be intrigued in the lore. So far I've got 1 new board that I hadn't otherwise had. Still, I believe that to be the count. I haven't even gotten any rank tickets out of these yet. Come on, rank tickets. That's the real prize. Saves me 100 gems. Although, I have enough gems to buy the next, like, 3 characters on release. And we got 1 more after this. Oh, no, I don't even. Oh, we did get an additional chest out of it all, though, at the very end there. Fair enough. Slightly unexciting there, but we're up to 12,000 gems. For the moment, my name is gonna be Rhapsody. The name of the game is gonna be The Bazaar. Top left is the series playlist for all the content of the game past, present, and future YouTube recommendations. Down below, streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsyPlays at or above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to Tristan. Hopefully you'll all be enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next patch.